like the birth of AI Down syndrome thirst traps.
The birth of what? I need to see a Down syndrome baddie. Like what? How does that even work? I'm a chromosec. A couple of months back, I was made aware that there were some content creators who were very notorious for faking disabilities. Sometimes they would fake like mental disabilities, sometimes they would fake even physical disabilities, bro. This is an entire epidemic, an entire crisis, and something that needs to be addressed. So today we're gonna be checking out the fake disability epidemic.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing?
Yo.
Coming and sitting down because today we're gonna be talking about one thing I think a lot of people think we do on this channel. Fake disabilities.
People think you fake disabilities? Please be patient, I have autism, you know what?
Living with a disability can create significant challenges in one's daily.
The fact that people are reading Braille is such a crazy concept. Unless like each Braille bump is literally in the shape of an R or an A or a D or a T, how do you know what says what? Like
Life. Not only do you have to adapt to physical and cognitive limitations, but
it is Rick Owens?
financially, emotionally, and even socially. Of course, many people are still able to thrive and live a great life even when living with a disability, which has bred a wholesome genre of content on platforms like TikTok.
It's admirable, very, very admirable.
You get to see people living with shit and also just being like, I don't give a fuck, dude. It's my life and it's now or never. I'm gonna live with disability.
I like the vocals.
These videos showcase people with disabilities excelling at certain tasks, spreading the message that their condition doesn't limit them from doing what they want to do.
Right.
And it opens up a conversation about how society looks at people.
But y'all remember that one dude who was in a wheelchair like this? I think he was like he actually got outed as being a predator. I don't know if y'all remember that.
With disabilities, discussing things like employment, discrimination, and accessibility issues. While most people wouldn't wish these conditions on their worst enemy, they would gladly play the part for a day if it means gaining something in return. Like streamers who pretend to be paralyzed for pity donations.
Easily outgeared.
Do you think your stream was off or something? You just get up from the wheelchair, man? We're not donating to your GoFundMe no more, man. The fact that you have to go to these lengths to get donations means that you're a terrible dog shit streamer, bro. Bro, people will get gifted for no reason. People will get gifted for twerking and shaking their butt and taking a t-shirt off. I'd rather strip naked than do this, man.
That's why today, we're going to take a look at people who fake disabilities with motivations that range from financial gain to freaky and bizarre perversions.
Okay.
It's a Papa Meat video.
What is this thumbnail, bro?
Without further ado, today we're talking about people who fake disabilities. People have been using this wave of positive disability content for something far more sinister, like the birth of AI Down syndrome thirst traps.
The birth of what? The birth of AI Down syndrome thirst traps. How does that even work? Wait a minute. Okay, let's just say the ideology of the creator. I'm gonna make myself Down syndrome to look sexy, first of all. And then for the people who are watching it, they're like, I need to see a Down syndrome baddie. Like what? How does that even work? Why is that a profitable business model?
I just had a fucking stroke. Holy shit. It's become a trend on Instagram and TikTok to use AI filters that alter one's face to make people appear as if they have Down syndrome.
Would you smash knowing Down syndrome had a peach no one was ready for?
Accounts have been taking horny female thirst traps of OnlyFans content, and does having Down syndrome mean I won't find love? While they shake their ass at the camera and they pop their pussy and all that kind of stuff. And the comments are just fucking insane. Some of these boys...
Wait, what? I'm a chromosec... Funny, that's actually crazy.
Insane. Some of these boys, man.
Jennifer Lopez, she can handle my special needs.
They need to find God, is what they need to find. Many of these videos are being used to advertise OnlyFans accounts, which often seem to be run by fully AI deepfake models. Some of the videos being used to promote adult content were taken from women as young as 16 years old.
That's another whole other... What the... Yeah.
This trend has resulted in a massive spike in search terms like Down syndrome fitness girl and Down syndrome beautiful girl.
Who was searching this up, bro? The fact that you're typing this in says a lot about you as a person,
Many people are disgusted by the trend, not just over the ethical qualms of deepfaking people without their consent, but the exploitation and fetishization of Down syndrome for profit.
No, I agree.
In most cases, the source videos are stolen by anonymous users. Some creators have purposely utilized these filters to ride the wave and boost their view counts. Many have deleted their accounts upon being being exposed, as their followers could clearly see that their Down syndrome randomly appeared out of nowhere when the
Bro, obviously it's not real. If you fall for this, bro, you're exactly the type of people she's looking for. Some idiots, some dumbasses. But I had a question though. What are like the rules and regulations when it comes to like, let's say messing with a person who has special needs or like Down syndrome, for example, in this case? Let's just say a person who didn't have Down syndrome and a person who did have Down syndrome and they like had intercourse. Like, can you consent to that? Like as a person with, like, how does it work? You know, is there any regulations or is it all just the same and normal? Or am I being weird by asking that question? I don't know.
And the issue gets even worse when you see just how many people are willing to fake disability out in the real world rather than just online. It takes a wild lack of shame to willingly do something like this. And when it comes to people that can't experience shame, nobody can hold a candle to Disney adults. That's right, baby. We're talking about Disney adults.
Did you see it?
At Disneyland parks, there used to be something called guest assistant card, which aimed to accommodate guests with disabilities by creating a less stressful environment. The GAC pass allowed people to access alternate ride entrances, enjoy air-conditioned waiting areas, receive front row seats to
essentially, if you're disabled, you get a couple extra privileges because, you know, your life is harder.
Shows, and sometimes even bypass lines entirely. People slowly began realizing that they could abuse the system in order to improve their Disneyland experience, and soon tons of people began faking disabilities to get one of these fucking cards, man. In some instances, people with legitimate disabilities started illegal businesses in which they hired themselves out to strangers to allow them to receive benefits. Disney adults would pay for disabled.
What? First of all, being a Disney adult in 2025 is crazy, bro. You're a grown woman, grown man. Like, take your kids to Disneyland. Don't be a Disney adult.
Would pay for disabled people to enter the park with them so they could get the fuck pass. Hello? The rampant abuse got so intense that Disney had to eventually change the entire system, replacing it with Disability Access Service in 2013. The pass required slightly more effort to obtain, requiring an initial meeting prior to the visit. So they basically made it to where it's like, what is it, like a pre-check for a flight.
Okay.
Say pre-check.
To make sure.
Yeah, the Disney adults were like,
I don't want to participate anymore. I wait in line. It's too hard now.
Now, rather than bypassing lines, DSA pass holders would be given reserved time that allowed them to walk freely instead of waiting in long lines. Of course, this soon became heavily abused as well, and Disney eventually got fed up with people pretending to have disabilities, instilling a lifetime ban on anyone that was caught lying to receive a DAS pass, which, to be fair, I think is fair.
Yeah, if you're faking a disability.
If you're
No, for sure.
a disability, it should be a one-time. It should be like, okay, no more.
I'm sorry. I hate waiting.
If you're faking a disability in your car, you should be banned for life. I don't care, bro. That's like scummy, man.
I'm sorry. I hate waiting in lines.
The constant abuse of this system has resulted in the DAS passes being much harder to obtain. To
Right.
the point where people with actual disabilities are turned down when applying for them. Some people have told stories of humiliating interviews where they desperately try to convince the interviewer that their disability isn't actually real, only to sternly be rejected, which I think is a sign from God to say, this park's kind of fucking cringe. I think I'll just go somewhere else. Am I right?
Dude, if I go there and let's just say I'm an amputee, I have no leg on my body or something, give me a goddamn disability pass, okay? Please. And they're like, nah, you're not disabled enough. Nah, that leg actually looks pretty real. No, you're faking, actually. As a matter of fact, bro, I'm actually gonna crash out. I might actually fight the staff. You have to. You have to. That's a lawsuit, something.
But I want to experience
Discrimination.
the joy they give at Disney World. I want to walk around with Anakin Skywalker.
Lightsaber?
My lightsaber, and then get an autograph from Goofy.
And blue milk?
And blue milk.
Stop, bro.
And
Stop.
then
Stop.
ride on Space Mountain like a million
Please stop, bro.
times.
Please.
My
Please.
DAS pass.
With my DAS pass.
Please.
Hell yeah. As it turns out, it's surprisingly common for people to get caught up abusing systems like these in order to reap the benefits. It goes far beyond theme parks, like with a police officer that claimed $600,000 over a fake injury.
Taxpayer money!
That's why fucking money! Nicole Brown, a cop from Westminster, was on a job in 2022 when she encountered a suspect of a crime. During the arrest, the man ended up striking her on the forehead and causing minor injuries.
Damn.
I don't know what that. She had only experienced minor dizziness the day the event took place. Regardless, she took a few days to recover. I mean, she was fucking struck in the head. Come on. Soon after, a doctor put her on total temporary disability, diagnosing her with severe concussion syndrome. She had spent a long period of time off work, fully paid. She accrued over $600,000 while on leave, all the while claiming she was left
completely disabled
over the whole ordeal. And it turned out that she had been greatly exaggerating her condition. During her time off, she went skiing, snowboarding, participated in a 5K race 2 times in Disneyland
Uh-oh. Hello again.
took college classes, and even attended sporting events.
She did literally everything and anything that the world allowed her to do, bro. You went on 2 5Ks, you taught classes, you went on some crazy story arc, bro. I've never done any of those things in my life. And she managed to do all of them while claiming to be on disability? Yeah, you're scum, bro.
Particularly absurd revelation, the investigation found that she had attended Stagecoach Musical Festival, dancing and partying alongside thousands of people.
She did everything. What the?
Put on a virtual meeting during an investigation where her stepfather spoke for her, claiming she was unable to process words or thoughts on her own.
Daddy, I need you to speak. I can't.
She was ultimately admitted to an inpatient center for victims of traumatic brain injuries. She was revealed to be faking her disability. She was convicted of various charges relating to fraud and faces up to 22 years in state prison.
Damn.
I just gotta say too, at a certain point, here's a
22? I'm not gonna lie, that's a little bit ridiculous though. I ain't gonna lie, they don't be giving that type of years to certain PDFs though.
thing. I think it's a line you're right. Just want to say she flew way too close to the sun.
Okay.
And to a point too where it was like, I don't think we have the full picture. I bet you she was faking her disability for all kinds of stuff, getting donations. I'm speculating. $600,000 for how long what was her salary like? It just seems like there was something to where it's like accruing that kind of wealth that quickly. It's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like if her salary was like $40,000 a year, to then go on meetings and be like, fake that you can't speak and shit. Messed up. Versus, I want to say that the line is also, if you get hit in the head at your job, you're like, what the squeeze a little bit of juice out of it. Game the system a bit to where you're just like, have the government fucking throw you some shit.
But there's something like in taking extra days, vacation days or something, and then also like getting government assistance, bro. At that point, you're scamming the government. They don't play about that.
Also, if the government's watching, Don, I'm joking.
This is a comedy video.
This is like me joking around. One place where having a disability can greatly improve your experience is in airports. Because of this, there has been a significant rise in flyers pretending to need wheelchairs. As you all know, if you've ever ridden on an airplane before, people in wheelchairs, primarily, why the fuck do old people need to fly so much?
Oh, it's because they board early, right?
Don't even put that in. People with disabilities that need assistance get on the plane, get to go first before anybody, even before the troops, Nick. See, but I've seen some people where I'm like, which is horrible for me to think, right? But I've seen one person where I'm like, this person's more in shape than I am. People that require wheelchairs are often given special accommodations to make their flight and airport experience more comfortable for the condition. A man on TikTok abused the system to show people how you could benefit from pretending to have a serious injury. He's seen cutting lines, getting priority boarding, receiving multiple seats for himself, and being wheeled around by airport staff.
That's crazy.
That's actually fucking disgusting.
If you're gonna do this, you should have to like prove the disability in other ways besides having it. I don't know. There should be like a stamp. You should have to have like a specific stamp that was sent to you by the United States government or something. I don't know.
It's become much more common for people to abuse the system, which has been referred to as miracle flights, due to the passenger suddenly standing up from their wheelchair once the flight is over.
What?
Oh my God, you're healed! After Frontier.
That's disrespect, bro. I'd be so mad if I was the freaking airline staff just to see a dude get up from the wheelchair like the whole time. Like, bro, he played us, bro.
Right. One man witnessed 20 people enter the plane on wheelchairs, only for just 3 of them to be used when the plane landed. Another man posted to social media after seeing an entire family of 7 in wheelchairs being pushed around by staff. According to him, all 7 of them got up from the wheelchairs simultaneously on the way out of the airport.
If I'm the staff or I'm anybody in the area, I'm gonna look around and be like, bro, is there really, like, what are the chances of all 7 of them being disabled? I understand that it can happen, bro. I understand things happen, you know, but 7 people in a family all disabled?
It's not common for people to use wheelchairs to get away with things like this. The internet is filled with these posts where people try to request advice on how to fake disabilities to get into concerts and other shows. One post explains how the show they wanted to attend was sold out, so they decided to buy a wheelchair accessible seat as well as rent a wheelchair for the night.
Wow.
He starts asking around for advice on how to make it seem more believable, with tons of comments advising him on how to sell the lie as effectively as possible. People are awesome. To those that criticized him for being an asshole, he responded by saying that he had a great time, adding that people held doors open for him and bought him free beers.
Yeah, you would think, bro, you're freaking disabled. People want to look out for you and stuff, man. They think your life is actually tougher or something, but no, you just want to get away with cheaping out on a concert ticket, man.
One thing to do something like this for something minor, like, I don't know, a concert, or I don't know, like when I was young and when you first got your driver's license pass, you'd go to Walmart and you get in the little rascals and drive around. But this pales into comparison to those who use it to satisfy their sick desires.
What?
That's right. Some people would gladly fake a disability simply because they want a nice, attractive woman to change their diaper.
Look at that photo.
Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you like, subscribe, join the Discord link in this. Bro, I want to outro this so bad, bro. What? There's people who fake disabilities to get their diaper changed. Grown man, by the way. You want to get your diaper changed by a woman of the staff? Yo, predators are literally everywhere. They have all types of methods, bro. Just when you think they're all out of ways to harass women, bro, they find a new one every time. They find a new one every time.
I know, this photo is fucking haunting. Rutledge Diaz IV, a 31-year-old man from Louisiana, was found to be paying healthcare workers to change his adult diapers. This man claimed to have special needs and was unable to take care of himself. He posted various fake advertisements online trying to lure in healthcare workers who thought that they were coming to provide home healthcare.
I need a diaper cleaner. I mean, my brother needs one. What do you help? What is this listing? This can't be real. This cannot be the real Craigslist listing, bro. At the same time, bro, if you want to get touched by somebody, go on Craigslist and ask for somebody to touch you, bro. You'll find someone. I'm sure. It's Craigslist. Or you can go get a happy ending somewhere, man. Not that I would know where to get that or anything like that. I'm just saying you can.
Workers who thought that they were coming to provide home health care for a made-up character named Corey, described as his 18-year-old brother who was mentally and physically handicapped. Rutledge would then pose as Corey and have the worker change his diaper to fulfill his strange fetish. For this, he was charged 10 counts of sexual in 2019.
Damn.
One victim spoke out about it, stating, quote, "I used to believe that almost everyone in the world was internally good. In this case, I was wrong."
Yeah.
And in 2020, he was caught doing the same thing, this time looking for a babysitter for what he described as alternative therapy. When the person arrived at the home for the act, he would hassle them to solicit the same service from another person who could take care of him. Basically, soliciting someone to change his diaper as well because he couldn't do it himself. One of the babysitters eventually caught on, leading him to being arrested from his home and charged with the attempted human trafficking yet again.
Human trafficking? Why are they giving him human trafficking for this, though? Why wouldn't they give him, like, SA or harassment? Something like that.
Human trafficking?
Yeah.
I wonder, what is it? I wonder why human trafficking?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's what I was
I
asking,
guess
see?
It's a sexual act.
Well, is it because also you're luring someone there with false pretenses? And it's not kidnapping, it's human trafficking maybe, or something like that? I don't know. Put up a little blurb. I don't fucking know. This is the only time someone used a fake disability to have his diaper changed. In fact, 2 years prior, Paul Anthony McChunka was caught doing the same thing. He would pose as his own mother, calling himself Amy. Amy would tell caregivers that her son had Down syndrome, enlisting caregivers to giving diaper changes and to bathe them. During his baths, caregivers reported that Anthony would become visibly aroused.
The caretakers knew he was faking it because they were like, that's not supposed to work, bro.
And on 5 separate occasions, he aggressively told one caregiver during bath time that his genitals were not clean enough.
This D ain't clean enough. Come clean it some more. Come scrub it down with the rubber ducky with some soap. Get it nice and bubbly. Yo, you're actually crazy. Faking a disability to get somebody to clean your butt.
Not only that, but they were also given special instructions regarding punishments from Amy. They were told to punish him whenever he soiled himself by putting him on timeout and taking away his privileges. One worker took care of him on 30 separate occasions, even referring other caregivers to do the same. Eventually, one suspicious caregiver followed him back to his parents' house, only to find the entire thing was an act. Anthony came clean when the 3 women confronted him. He was arrested over charges of sexual abuse and fraudulent schemes.
What the hell, bro?
Find someone online, like post roleplay.
I think it's the unconsenting act. The person doesn't want you to know. The person wants to feel like they're getting something over. It's a total power trip.
I see.
So they're not doing this because of the pleasure aspect, as he's explaining. He's saying that they're doing it because they want a power trip. They want to have that dominant. They get off to the fact that you don't know what's really happening, to the fact that they're taking advantage of you. It's not even the fact that they're attracted to the person or they want something to happen to them. It's the fact that they feel that yes, she doesn't know. Yo, you're sick in the freaking head, bro. Oh my god.
If the person knows, it probably takes the joy out of this like, sick f***ing game he's playing.
Where he's just like, they don't know I'm disabled.
Because the healthy thing would be, I don't get.
They don't know I'm disabled. What? This is flabbergasting me, bro.
If you're a guy who's like, I want someone to change my diaper, and you like have someone who's just like, hey, that gets me hard and wet too. I love changing filled diaper. That's your business, right? To have someone who's just like there to legitimately try to help you, to me, it just is even more sad.
Yeah.
It takes a truly unwell person to justify doing something this deplorable. But what about an entire team of people faking disabilities? This was the case during the 2000 Sydney Games. During this event, there was a Paralympic basketball tournament specifically for the mentally disabled. People were shocked shocked to see that the Spanish team dominated against the others, ending each game at least 15 points ahead. People became suspicious after a popular Spanish sports magazine reported on their victory. Readers started writing into the publication to say that they recognized the people on the team and that they were not disabled in any way. As pressure started to rise, one of the players started to reveal the truth. Not only was he not intellectually disabled, but 10 of the 12 players weren't as well.
So if they're just out here hooping against other people who are disabled, just freaking Kyrie shifting across and step back. This sounds like something you find in like the Boondocks. I don't know, like a movie, an RDC skit.
It turns out that the
I'd be so
medical
mad.
exams performed on the players were incredibly simple, to the point where some players only had to have their blood pressure taken and perform 6 push-ups. Their coach was totally on board with this, to the point where he would instruct his player mid-game on how to look even more visually disabled during the games.
I can only imagine the coach is like, yo, you're not looking disabled enough. Make sure you like, I'm not going to do the motions. I'm not getting canceled today. Not on my watch, buddy. No. You're not getting that. Pay for that on Patreon. I don't even have a Patreon, actually.
Drool. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Drool. Here. Like, look around. There's bees.
A timeout, and you have to tell people you guys aren't.
Yeah, time. You guys have got to scream more. Act like there's a beehive above you at all times. They come out of it and just like, oh, the team's really looking kind of crazed here.
Nah,
The
bro.
Spanish Paralympic-
No, bro. See, I wasn't gonna make the joke, but he's savage. He don't care.
The Spanish Paralympic Committee eventually took away their gold medals, and the team was heavily fined.
And when I had the gold medal in my hand, when they put it around my neck, I was really somebody. A week passed, and they were saying that Spain had cheated, and we gotta give back.
See, I ain't gonna lie. If I already had that gold medal, we ran off on the plug. It's mine. You're not getting that back. As a matter of fact, you will never see that ever again.
My gold medal.
And of course, things can escalate to pretty insane heights. Some people can take disability scams to an entirely new level.
Really?
MS-13 went so far as to put people through spinal surgeries to fake workplace injuries into a $1 million lawsuit.
What?
That is fucking crazy. They would find border crossers or homeless people, drive them to the city and treat them well before pressuring them into joining their scheme. They would then put the homeless people through various accidents like falling off a ladder or falling over at a construction site, making sure to coach them on how to make it extra believable. Then they would go to a sleazy lawyer to help them set up a lawsuit, and from there, they would have surgeons who were in on the scheme as well use screws and plates to fuse healthy vertebrae together.
Damn. What the? Isn't that like life-threatening? Am I tripping?
Like such a shock down my spine, dude. Oh my god. Can you imagine, like, you're totally fine, the next day you wake up and someone has like actually screwed and put plate? I mean, ugh.
Not even worth it.
No, God, no. And by doing this, they would claim that the injury that they sustained required various expensive surgeries. Business and landlords would be hit with lawsuits that would settle often for at least $1 million.
Damn.
They would pay as little as
That's actually a crazy play. Oh my gosh.
$1,000 for a struggling person, put them through a life-altering surgery, pocketing the rest, pay as little as with lawsuits that would settle often for at least $1 million. They would pay as little as $1,000 for a struggling person, put them through a life-altering surgery, pocketing the rest of the money for themselves, and they made millions of dollars from this endeavor.
$1,000 to get spines and metal stuck up inside my spine? I'm not putting nothing down my spine. I'm not getting nothing in my back. No back shots, none of that, bro. $1,000? You have to pay me $100,000 for me to even think about it, bro. And they're making $1 million, so that means they're pocketing $999,000.
With some insurance firms claiming up to 650 alleged fraudulent lawsuits in the past 4 years. And
Okay.
let's end things with a satisfying bit of karma coming from China. Zhang, a man from China, was accused of murder in 2005. He had a physical altercation with his uncle-in-law over $76 in rent. And things escalated to the point where he ended up stabbing the man to death. Once again, over a dispute for $76.
Damn.
Which in 2005 money, that's like probably $30,000. To avoid prison, he changed his name to Wang Gui and traveled 450 miles away from his home in order to live a new life as a construction worker. To make sure he never revealed sensitive information regarding his crime, he committed to being a mute for the foreseeable future. Wang Gui.
So he was like, okay, you know what? I know I'm going to snitch on myself, so I'm just not going to speak anything.
Gwen Gui. Oh, that's right. He's mute.
He just took a vow of silence. I killed someone. I'm not going to talk again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's like sitting there. His boss comes over. Hey, did you kill someone over $76 rent? That's right. He's
Maybe.
Somehow he was able to remarry and even give birth to a new child without breaking his mute lifestyle. He
What?
didn't have to talk to his wife.
What the? Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
And after 12 years, he was approached by the police regarding a household survey conducted in his village. After realizing that he had no paperwork, he was taken in and eventually given a DA test that revealed that he was the man that committed the murder over a decade prior. Zane
Damn.
tried to speak to the police and plead his innocence, but he was unable to. His vocal cords atrophied so much over the years that he was now incapable of speaking without a pen and paper.
He actually went mute from not being mute. Yo, it's not funny, but like he low-key deserved it.
That's some karmatic shit right there, dude.
yeah.
He was eventually arrested and jailed for his crimes. It goes without saying that there's a special place in hell for people that pretend to have altering disabilities.
Yeah.
Especially when it starts to make things worse for people who actually struggle with
Yes,
them.
100%.
Over time, stories like this lead to higher rates of skepticism over whether or not someone is actually suffering from these conditions. Whether it's Disney DAS passes being denied to disability people or scummy disability scams raising people's insurance rates. Someone
Yeah.
is always getting screwed over these selfish actions.
Yeah.
And usually, the majority of the time, it's the people with actual disabilities and not the criminals that are out there trying to pass off on some weird, creepy ruse. I just gotta say, don't fucking fake a disability. All right?
You think people who fake disabilities should be put to death?
Jesus, I mean,
I don't know about all
I
that.
guess it's case to case. You know what? Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
don't know. I've seen videos. There was a video that went viral for a bit where a guy faked having a mental disability in his town, and he was just robbing people. He like asked for donations, and he apparently made like a ton of money every year. He'd sit there. He did the thing, and he even like it was like a news report. on
Yeah,
it.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and he's like sitting there, and he's like doing his act, and then at the end, he's like sitting there like joking.
Well, that's gonna do it for the epidemic of fake disabilities. I mean, we learned that people are faking disabilities for Disney parking passes or Disney fast passes. We learned that they're faking disabilities for OF. We learned that they're faking disabilities to get away from crimes. And we learned that some people are faking disabilities to get off on their weird, unconsensual fantasies. Overall, just weird, disgusting. Don't fake disabilities, man. It's not worth it. It's weird. It's strange. And if you get exposed, you will run with that reputation for the rest of your life. But that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you like, subscribe, join the Discord link in the description. Recommend me any videos down below or in the Discord link in the description as well. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel once again. As always, have a great rest of your day. It's Lefty Law. I love you, and I'm out. Brief intermission. If you're enjoying the video so far, please subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Thank you very much.